What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Volts Comics some more. I'm Alex, and today I'm going to be going over, once again, as promised, Avengers No Surrender, the final part. This is going to be my conclusion to Avengers No Surrender. This is how, quite literally speaking, all the cards play out. So, again, warning for any potential spoilers. If you guys have not read Avengers No Surrender, if you're waiting for the graphic novel version of it to come out. But anyway, let's get started. In my last video yesterday, I kind of did a little bit of a review, not only on the backstory of the Voyager and who she actually turned out to be, but also on the big fight with probably one of the biggest spoilers, which I didn't give a spoiler warning yesterday, so sorry about that. But anyway, the resurrection of the now called the Immortal Hulk. This story for the Immortal Hulk will actually be available in June, and this is following the storyline for the Avengers No Surrender, as well. That's where he was brought back in. But I won't go through it completely, but this is just kind of a brief summary on what to expect from the Immortal Hulk series that's going to be starting up in June. So if you guys want time to read that, go ahead and hit the pause button and meet back up with me after you are finished. Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, I will definitely be doing a review video when that comes out in June. But in the meantime, here is the final issue for Marvel Legacy 690, Avengers No Surrender Part 16. This is the final one for Marvel Legacy, and it's also the final one for the No Surrender storyline. So we pick up with the Avengers with the start of the rebuilding for the Avengers Mansion as it was destroyed, and the whole big fight scene with the Challenger. And this is pretty much where it all ends. With the Voyager saying their power is infinite and they're running out of time. The Challenger is an elder. His energy is nearly limitless. They're losing ground before they lose it all. Humans are legendary throughout the galaxy for their fighting spirit, but it's failing them. Beast reminds her that then it's time to rally the team, Voyager. You control memories, right? Make them remember. Remember what it means to be an Avenger. And here you see a huge amount of flashbacks of memories from different Avengers all throughout time. You give your all and then double it. You look death in the eye, and you tell it no. No retreat, no surrender. And then you have the Scarlet Witch just going all out. By earth and sky, by craft and hex, by past and future, I call hope forth from the darkness. To speak the words of power, the words we gave power to, the words we made into magic. Let their power augment our own, to strike one blow from our hearts and souls, from all that we are. Let the call go forth. And I'm going to give you guys a minute just to kind of get a feel for just how powerful this saying has never been more powerful before. And if you haven't guessed already, Avengers assemble. They let out their battle cry, and the Challenger goes boom. But there is an epilogue here where you see that just because the Challenger went boom doesn't mean that he's gone. The Voyager has him up in shackles in what's called the Far Shore, the farthest point of life and death. Beyond there is only the mystery. And that is where the Challenger is in shackles and vows to destroy her and her father. Before all that, she says goodbye to the Avengers and hopes that she can somehow repay them for all the damage that she's caused. And she admits to them that, like her father, she is an elder of the universe and she wants to do what she can to make things right. Everybody is trying to call her an Avenger, says that they will come to her aid if she ever needs it, and whenever she comes back, she always has a place with the Avengers. So, what kind of started out as a long-lost Avenger turned almost to villain, and then repentant and sorry for what she did, and she didn't really even do much of anything. She just was there. She knew what she was doing was wrong, and then she saw what the what humans could do and what they fought for and everything, and that basically is what brought her to the conclusion that she wants to fight as an Avenger and she wants to make things right. And she replies that through you, I see a better future. And when she says you, she means all the Avengers pulled together. And she continues to say, it gives me hope. Moves forward to see what's happening with the Black Order, or the Coal Obsidian. And reveals that the Grand Master still has plans unfinished. But what are those plans? Well, don't exactly know them yet, but it also shows us on Nowhere over at Olive's Bar the Lethal Legion is gathered together and is just basically discussing about what their next move is going to be, and pretty much just saying that they should combine our might and see what happens. So they don't really want to disband. Nobody really has a home to return to. So here we are, we find them all together again, and that's pretty much where it ends for them. Oh, and you're probably wondering what's going on with the Vision. Well, this is what happens when the Vision battles the immortal Hulk. Don't worry, I don't think we've seen the last of the Vision, but it doesn't necessarily look good for him, though, either. The Hulk, as immortal as he is, well, smarter. It's not just Banner anymore. The Hulk can actually, seems to be able to be more cautious about his fighting skills. And instead of just fist fighting, he's dodging a lot more and actually overcoming a lot. Therefore, being able to, well, yeah, this. And then you see Vision laying on the ground. That right there, those are binary codes. Basically, well, this is kind of what happens when he is dying and he doesn't, he's kind of going into a coma almost. He is dead, but he's not gone. They'll fix him up. He'll be fine, right? Does anybody understand binary code? If anybody can translate binary code for me, let me know. But yeah, I'm sure he's fine, right? Yeah, he's in good hands. We move on to see what's happening with Hawkeye and an old friend of his who he probably isn't really looking forward to very much having a conversation with. If you couldn't tell already by the little hints here, green door. That's right, he's talking with Dr. Bruce Banner. And Banner is very sympathetic to Hawkeye for basically telling him to shoot me in the head, and then Hawkeye had to go through all those trials and everything, and Banner's just apologizing for putting him through that. Hawkeye's trying to tell him that he is a good man deep down inside, and it's not really the first time he's heard it since he's been back. After smashing the final pyramid, he reverts back into Dr. Banner, asking everyone to forgive him. We see Edwin Jarvis back up on his feet, talking to Bruce Banner, and saying that it's pretty much trying to tell him that it's going to be okay, that there's much more to him than that. Go back over to the next page, and showing him, meaning Jarvis, saying, "We must all do better, but your worth is not dedicated by how far you have fallen. What matters is how hard you work to rise again." And Banner's just not too sure about that. But during this touching scene, we see Banner shedding a tear as Jarvis begs him to not give up. But we skip ahead to the next comic, and we just have to see where Banner's story is going to take him with the Immortal Hulk. So definitely stay tuned for that, coming in June. But I believe as far as the story for the Elders of the Universe goes, this story has come to an end. But wait, not so fast. Still got one more character to wrap up here. You see, it's Quicksilver that finds out why everybody is in that stasis, including Vision. So, how could the Vision be fighting the Hulk when he's still in a frozen stasis? Well, I'll let you know. So, as it turns out, the reason why they're in stasis is because there's a little orb. Well, let me let Quicksilver explain it to you better. There. That beacon is keeping our fellow Avengers in stasis. And this isn't the first time that Quicksilver has seen this. He's actually seen this beacon in kind of just quick glimpses in a couple of issues back. But now it's kind of getting the better of him. He's very, very weak right now, and he's still trying to go after this little ball of light that they think is pretty much in his head from being concussed. But as he explains it, "Professor Ho, you'd best recalibrate your equipment. The beacon is almost entirely frictionless and outside the visual spectrum of light." "Okay, but I'll be right back." And it isn't until the next comic, the next issue, where we see that Quicksilver reveals that the Earth is dying, that he can see it. Earthquake in Berlin. The Brandenburg Gate holds for now. No civilians endangered this time. In Portugal, a different story. The lightning has already struck as I pass. This is Pietro talking. Nothing I can do but keep running. Halfway across the Atlantic, I find Namor the Submariner. He doesn't say hello, though he's frozen in stasis. As I reach the east coast, I look up for a picosecond to see the sky unravel above me. Whatever kept Earth stable here at the far edge of creation, it's failing, dying. Earth is dying because there aren't enough of us to save it. And only I know why. I can see it. The beacon. So what he can see is that beacon that nobody else can see just because it's so fast, and he sees things differently in speed. And kind of the same way that if you guys watch the Flash series, how Barry Allen can kind of like see different things quicker, and you kind of see that work like in like as he describes it as like the Speed Force kind of working around all this. This isn't really described as the Speed Force, but it pretty much seems to work that way. He fails to catch it though. But no worries, he never, ever gives up. Quicksilver enlists the help of his sister, Wanda, and his friend, Emily, who's also known as Snaps. And he and her kind of haven't been getting along too well because, well, he did something that got her hurt in a different comic, different storyline and stuff, so they kind of haven't been talking to each other lately just because Pietro's been a little bit distant from her because he just feels horrible and doesn't want to deal with it. But Pietro's explaining to Wanda that there is no other way for him to catch up to this orb, this beacon, except to match its speed. And to do that, he has to go beyond the powers that he's able to. And part of it is also Snaps. She knows that he needs her help. And she doesn't want him feeling bad anymore. And, well, she loves him. There's his farewell kiss. She is going to end up removing that part or opening that part in his mind that stops him from going too fast. And Wanda is going to make him go even faster than that. As she says her goodbye to him. And her hex has started. So he's running faster than he's ever run. And just to let you guys know, the next time anybody wants to compare his speed to the Flash's speed, just kind of keep this little bit in mind. Although, yes, it's not just him, it's also the help of Snaps and Wanda working with him to break barriers and make him faster. But still, just remember what he can do. This is still Quicksilver here through his thoughts as he's saying, together we are stronger. Together we sacrifice for those in need. Together we engage the impossible. That is why we are a team. That is what it means to be an Avenger. Fighting together. As he catches up with the beacon, catches it, and then well, I think you guys understand what happened from there. So, as the stasis has been broken, and all the other Avengers, and, well, as you can see, Daredevil there, Defenders also, have been released. Voyager sounds off the battle cry and teleports them to the Challenger, and that's the point to where they defeat the Challenger. So that right there, folks, draws our adventure to a close. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And also, don't forget to hit the bell to get notified or hit the bell so you can be notified when I put out a new video. And also, don't forget to drop a like if you like the video. Also, don't forget to share Facebook, Twitter, whatever you got. I could sure use the help with that. But anyway, thank you guys again so much, and I will see you next video. And don't forget to check out the other comics coming soon with Avengers #1, Quicksilver No Surrender, and of course, the Immortal Hulk. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.